So my name's Anna and I'm an alcoholic in recovery, and I just celebrated 15 years in Italy, and this is my first week back to work at Carer Support Dorset, where I'm the Dorset Services Manager. I held down many jobs. I was very successful. I had a mortgage, I had a car, I lived in a very nice area in Wiltshire, and basically, I think I wasn't the stereotypical idea of an alcoholic. When I got into recovery, my youngest was in intensive care as a baby. He was born 15 weeks early, so he was born at 25 weeks pregnant, and he was £1.12. And I just waited every day for that call, whether he would have died or not. And to cope with that, I drank. And a husband who drank similarly, and it was chaotic. There was a lot of abuse on both sides that comes with drinking a lot, and the kids got taken away, and that was my moment of clarity after passing out in the car over the steering wheel, having drunk several bottles of wine, and I was arrested, and that was my moment that, unbeknown to me, my mum made some phone calls and found me a treatment centre to get into. I left that treatment centre knowing a lot more about recovery. I felt quite strong. And then I had a meeting with social services. The children had already gone, and I wasn't given any hope that I would get them back. And in that moment, I just ran straight to a pub and had a glass of large white wine. That day drinking like that lasted 3 months of round the clock drinking, and ended with me taking an overdose. And I came round from life support, and at that point I was scared of myself for the first time in my life, and it scared me enough to get myself into treatment. And I walked through the doors, and that's where the work started again. And I listened the second time, and I stayed for 6 weeks. And I did aftercare. I absolutely had that willingness to change my life. And I don't know what happened, but social services saw the difference. They saw that I was working with them, I wasn't working against them, I wasn't fighting them, I was just surrendering. And it took about a year, start to finish, and eventually they were phased back to me. And I had to divorce, I had to and stay sober, and I did. And so a year later, they came back to me, a very slow, phased return, and it was just such a happy day. The first day that the first day that I was allowed to pick my 5-year-old up from school was just priceless. I did everything that was suggested. I did 90 meetings in 90 days, and got a sponsor, did everything 12-step fellowship that you meant to do. Apparently, and I just did the stuff, and life changed. And after 3 years of being in recovery, I was told by social services that 0.5% of mothers get their children returned to them from foster care, and that statistic just blew me away. That I don't know what I was doing right, but I was that 0.5%, and it made me really passionate about wanting to do something with that. So I retrained, and I became an addictions counsellor. I did a degree at Bath Uni, and I got a first. So I became an addictions counsellor for a little while. I did that for several years, and then I'm now manager, like I said, of Dorset Services Manager of Carer Support Dorset. But in terms of addiction and my story, I would say to anybody, just reach out and ask for help.